Sienna God, hello, all good afternoon, and Wado, thank you for watching. So I'm dealing with an issue with my storage on my phone, and I have taken off like a ton of stuff, and for some reason it's like, the stuff it once handled, it's like, I can't handle some of these videos. Well, hopefully it's not a quinky dink or anything, and no, I'm not going to buy more storage. I feel like that's like a gimmick. But anyway, so that's why that cut off. But this is part 2 of reading Lone Wolf Alpha Squad Copy Over. So you get a treat of 2 videos of this today. And I'm going to reread the sentence where it cut me off at. Anyway, when the tip touches a person's forehead, the unit activates inside and the crystal absorbs all the energy of the person's electromagnetic field, disrupting the heart's connection to its soul. Whoa. The device is also connected to the chair and the floor. The person may have been drugged prior to the session and is barefoot and usually strapped to a chair, which conducts electricity from the floor. The doctors and nurses wear special shoes so they do not get zapped while the whole room electrifies. After the session, the crystals in the subject's pineal gland will now be fried and selected memories will be gone. Whoa. The MIB version of this technology is the Armor Lux Neuralizer. Oh, did they call it a neuralizer in Men in Black, the movie? As featured in the Men in Black movies, the neuralizer works by erasing targeted memories and replacing them with memories from an alternate reality that do not have the targeted memory. Wow. Subject may experience Mandela side effects from MIB encounters. So they're kind of doing that with this in general, aren't they? Can't see here. Here we go. So there's the hammer right there. And then there's the MIB doohickey. Okay. Or the gray mind eraser tool. Anyway, okay. Were they putting something in the water? Or the air? Maybe it's the climate trails, right? Okay, so MIB Armor Lux Flash Gun. Armor Lux is ARMORLUX. Transmorphing. The lab tech may be... Hold on. Is he gonna talk about it here? Did you do the Armor Lux thing over here? Oh, here you go. Armor Lux Neuralizer. There that is, right there at the top. Almost looks like a flashlight. But maybe that's where they got that, hey, look right here. And it did it on Men in Black, you know. Transmorphing. The lab tech may be equipped to mutate or shapeshift their subject into a different form. Reptilians refer to this as transmorphing. It involves injecting a drug like compound C or chemicals such as monatomic, MONATOMIC, mercury in the joints, which results in a full body shapeshift as well as changes of emotions and mentality. Compound C is a classified drug made from bioluminescent mushrooms, which only grow in caves within inner earth. What? This injection would allow shapeshifting for a 7 to 10 day period in whatever design that was uploaded in the computer. Get the heck out of here. Afterwards, they would return. You know what? That's probably why they had like mushrooms being like illegal, so that nobody accidentally discovered anything that they were hiding. Who knows? Afterwards, they would return to normal. Their memories would be deleted and replaced with extracted memories from the clone that was living out a normal life while the person was gone. If the process was done on a body that is expected to be returned to civilian life one day, the chemicals create very damaging side effects for the rest of their civilian life. They have compounds less toxic than monoatomic mercury, but super soldiers are expected to self-destruct later in life. So in the handler's mind, it's not necessary to go through extra steps. In addition to the shape-shifting serums, some super soldiers have the ability to shapeshift in what is known as golden form, because my eyes glow yellow. Whoa. This is warrior class Kundalini activation, where one can access all their gifts and abilities without the need of drugs or a cloned avatar. Because of their ultra trauma and implants, this can be a very difficult state to obtain without a lot of deprogramming. Though some may be able to reach the state under life-threatening situations. Whoa. I also like to mention, oh yeah, that probably explains why it is that people like lift cars off of people and stuff. I also like to mention whistleblower Randy Kramer, like that's activated by life-threatening situations. So they're able to do like superhuman things, but actually it's their own ability to do stuff. It's just we can't access it whenever we want to. I also like to mention whistleblower Randy Kramer, Cramer, who was part of the Mars Defense Force, revealed that the USMC was seeking ways to create a super soldier without using severe trauma. Well, how nice of them. In 1967, Project Moonshadow was put into effect, which would genetically engineer 300 embryos at a ratio of 4:1, boy to girls, inserted into surrogated mothers. Throughout the life of the child, they would be taken to Marine Corps facilities for strength, agility, and strategic thinking that would be needed later in their military service off-world. The program was deemed a huge success, and much of the old trauma programming methods of the past are now being replaced within the ICC with more humane training protocols. Jump rooms. Jump rooms are quantum entanglement teleportation chambers that can take you to other jump rooms in places like Mars, the Moon, and other off-world bases. Typically, they are only used by the elite, on-world and off-world. There is one located just south of LA Airport under the Boeing facility, connected to its sister facility in Paramus, New Jersey, as well as in Paramus is Paramus, as well as CIA HQ Langley. Excuse me, the official name for jump rooms is ARCs, ARCs, Aeronautical Repositioning Chambers. Many Hilton hotels contain these facilities and are tied into Montauk programs where Illuminati members can teleport quickly to do rituals from these locations. For example, the Waikiki Hilton, you walk into an elevator, the walls curve around you, and then 10 minutes later, you are on another planet. The technology was invented in the mid-1950s. Astronaut Ken Johnson Jr. testifies that he has used the ARC, the ARC jump room technology. And here he is. Astronaut Ken Johnson Sr. Don't stay at the Hilton in Waikiki. Stay someplace else. Sleep in your rental car, financing. Get an Airbnb. As you can see, much time and money are put into each super soldier. Each soldier can cost between $30 to $100 million a piece, and many MyLab victims have 20 clones or more. Whoa! Which, with each cloned avatar costing about $1.25 to $7 million each to make, with most of the expense for creating the femtites. When you look at everything spent to keep the avatars running and alive, we are talking trillions of dollars. Creature breeding programs and medical units. Operations are expensive. Off-world operations cost big money, and that includes time travel activations, locations, food, and Stargate portals, teleports, uniforms, weapons, systems, space freights, and cruisers, the whole works. Even the ships have to be restocked and outfitted. New technologies have to replace old technologies. The more advanced SSP groups have quantum 3D printing like replicator technology seen in Star Trek, and don't need money or physical resources from planet Earth. However, according to ACIO sources, the total undisclosed budget for SSP programs on planet Earth is about $100 trillion USD annually. It's all big money. When civilians see the truth for what it is, it's going to shock them. All this money isn't a problem for the Dark Cabal, as it's funneled through the Federal Reserve under the direction of the Rockefeller Foundation and MJ-12. These programs are run worldwide, but under different names. The main governing body itself is hidden, but appears to be under the guidance of the UN and the Office of the Director of National Intelligence. They have the bigger picture, hold all the keys and codes, but the MyLab product is managed under the military-industrial complex throughout the alphabet soup groups. Note, the President of the United States is not privy to this information, and he only carries a Q-23 security classification, in parentheses, need to know basis, which is required in order to maintain plausible deniability. This is to prevent him from blurting out deep black project parameters when under stress and duress. The highest is 45 plus security classifications under the guidance of, oh my God, ZBIGNIEW, Zbigniew Brzezinski, Brzezinski, in parentheses, now deceased, who runs PL40 or the, oh no, PI40. Is it P? Yeah. Or the old MAJIC, no, PI40, yeah. Or the old MAJIC 12, Magic 12. Some of these projects are conducted on bases on this planet as well as off-world, usually through the U.S. Navy and Air Force, U.S. Space Command, as they have the security clearance to access MyLab projects. The U.S. Air Force is responsible for managing Black Ops and seems to have the most access to these programs as they heavily infiltrated by the Dark Cabal. Probably as they're heavily infiltrated by the Dark Cabal. Donald Trump's Space Force is probably meant to be an excuse for soft disclosures, i.e. to release new technologies that they had since the 1950s. Wow. In order to help humanity catch up to our off-world SSP brothers and sisters. Within this organization are many offshoots of super soldiers programs, including both men and women trained in all kinds of areas. There's no telling how many people on this planet have been programmed in this way. Numbers could run as low as a few hundred extraterrestrial human hybrid super soldiers to perhaps as high as 10,000 operates within MyLab programming, and maybe millions of clones created in various underground vats. But one thing appears clear: super soldiers created by the military are a poor copy of what the aliens have been doing for millions of years. The best super soldiers are made by the aliens, and the covert government only borrows them as it suits their needs. According to Project Zeta Diogenes, Diogenes survivor Sergeant Dan McBolean III, MacBolean, the United States Social Security Administration has been secretly brain mapping all Americans based on their genetic potential. If your Social Security number begins with 0 to 1, and it says offspring of scientists, 0 usually refers to Project Paperclip scientists and their descendants. 2 to 3, so I should say if it begins with a 0 or a 1, and then if it begins with a 0 or 2, I mean a 2 or a 3. Okay, y'all, hang on. 0 or 1 is the offspring of scientists, all right? 2 or 3 is offspring of scientists and or persons of interest regarding professionals. Begins with the number 4. Soldier material based on genetics and size. Perfect super soldier is 6'1" and 7/8 inches tall, based on the Fibonacci sequence. Most of the 4s have been messed with genetically. Okay. that would explain a lot. If it begins with the number 5, offspring of technically inclined persons or your blue-collar technicians and mechanics. If it begins with a 6, offspring of soldiers, usually second gen, but they are not necessarily desirable soldier material, just host to the psychic metagene factor. The 6s are humbrids, humbreds, of the 4s. If it starts with a 7, no data available. It starts with an 8, are offspring of the offspring of soldiers or third gen. 8s are very desirable as they special abilities. So I guess as they have special abilities that are enhanced due to social engineering. 8s are further enhancements of the 4s and 6s. If it begins with a 9, there are persons of disinterest, as they are considered 10% not normally organized persons. This includes most UCC1 sovereign individuals who give up their citizenship due to, and the not normally organized persons is in quotes, due to admiralty, how do you say that? ADMIRALTY law, or Black's common law. Immediately their SS number becomes all 9s. Thus they understand admiralty and Black's common law to the point that they are not worth dealing with, as they are enlightened to their use of linguistics regarding unconstitutional laws, and understand that anyone not under UCC-1 sovereignty is basically considered, and this is in quotes, owned commodities and products by governments. That's crazy. That's where we'll end it. Then to go hang, we need to meet again. Love you, mean it.